I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
And a happy Sunday fun day to everybody out there. Welcome to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here along with Ellen Miller.
Good morning, Scott.
Good morning. Welcome to Portland. Oh my God, if I wanted to live in Portland, I'd live in Portland.
Me too.
This weather.
It's
weather.
kind of getting to me.
Summer hates us right now.
I look forward to these. You know, we talk our patios, our decks, our yard,
The gardens and everything. Yes.
Grilling outside. All the fun of summer's been just challenging.
Literally dampened.
Dampened.
It has been dampened.
Exactly dampened. Yes.
Dampened, sometimes monsooned.
Oh, yeah. Horrible.
It was so, like, it's been, what is going on?
And then the bugs come right after, too. You try to go outside. It's like giant hummingbird-sized mosquitoes.
Yeah, they're little tiny hawks that are coming around. Right now, my garden, my patio, looks like you could perform any Tennessee Williams play on it. It is just so
Do you have some moss that you can add for the?
No moss is growing on on the actual concrete on the floor because it's just been so wet. We've got moss there. I mean, everything is the humid. Like, it is sultry. I feel like I need to be sitting out there and talking about the lifestyle to which I've become accustomed.
Yes.
Yeah, it is just like, it is swampy. Although when I was getting ready, there were like the strange lights started to appear through the window. And I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's the sun. I haven't seen you.
It came out for a minute yesterday.
And
I got all
was
excited.
Like, hey. Oh.
And then it was gone.
Yeah.
I had to cancel my walk.
Well, but it's a perfect day to hang out with us.
It is.
We'll listen to some queer folk just jibber jabber about stuff and junk. But we also have a really great show. People who are doing much more than stuff and junk. So this week were the Minnesota and the Wisconsin primaries, both of which created a national stir.
Yeah.
Over there, like gubernatorial races in Wisconsin, the Senate races, particularly in Minnesota. And one candidate made history as the first openly trans woman nominated for state assembly. Madison City Council member, Alder Dina Nina Martinez Rutherford, will be joining us later this hour to talk about her primary win and what is going to be her road for the next, 80-something days?
Yeah.
I can't believe it's 80-something days.
80 days or something.
I'm so excited to speak with her, with Alder Martinez Rutherford, because I've known her for a very, very long time, and to watch her growth and her determination, her strength, her vision. Very, very excited to be speaking with her.
I feel like I've known her a lot. I mean, when she started her political career,
her political life,
we had her on the air there from the beginning, and she just keeps doing more and more and getting elected, and it's a wonderful thing to see.
I know. She really is. I don't want to use the word the phrase love in action, because that was a whole thing. That was a deprogramming organization in Memphis.
Yeah.
But she really is loving it. Like, she's like, I see something that I want to fix, and I feel very passionate about it, and she goes and she does it. And so very excited. We're going to be speaking with Alder Dina Nina Martinez Rutherford later on this hour. And Dr. Ada Chang is an award-winning storyteller, solo performer, and producer, and smart as a whip. Oh, my goodness. She's committed to amplifying and uplifting marginalized voices, and she has created numerous storytelling platforms for BIPOC and LGBTQIA community members to tell difficult and vulnerable stories. And this month, Nothing Without a Company is partnering with Ada for 5 performances of The Trouble with My Hair, Coloring, Cutting, and Coming Into Who I Am. Ada Chang and Anna Rose E. Epstein, producing director of Nothing Without a Company, are going to be joining us in studio at the top of the second hour. And here we go. The weather's gross, So why not go inside and check out a movie? The full lineup was released for the 44th Reeling, the Chicago LGBTQ plus International Film Festival. It's going to be coming up on September 17th through the 27th. And our good friend Richard Knight Jr. was co-programmer of Narrative Features. We'll spill the tea on what's coming up for the second longest running LGBTQ film festival in the world. And of course, we would love to hear from you. So give us a call at 773-763-9278. The number again is 773-763-9278. And if you don't feel like chatting with us, you can always use that same number to shoot us a text, 773-763-9278. Of course, you can listen to Out Chicago live Sundays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central on 8:20 a.m. on TuneIn from heartlandsignal.com, or you can watch the live video stream from the WCPT Facebook page or the Heartland Signal YouTube page. And today's show is live on Facebook. We're reading your comments, so please leave your thoughts as well as like and share the page. You can find it at facebook.com/WCPT820. So, Ellen Miller, how was your week? What's been going on with you?
You know, like dodging raindrops and puddles. And, well, gosh, when I left here last Sunday, what's normally a 20 to 25-minute drive was almost an hour.
Wow.
And it was a little bit white knuckling because I was in just the...
you were on the expressway, weren't you? Yeah.
Expressway, and then got off at Elston, and it was just, I mean, I was plowing through. I had the music going, and, you know, but it was... And then I got home, I pulled into the garage. I'm like, I can't even step out the garage.
Outside,
I had to like do a end around, but you know, and it's just been that way. But I relish these last weeks of summer.
Girl, and again, let me remind you, summer goes until officially September 23rd, officially, and then it still stays warm.
It does.
All the way up until like November.
It does. Hopefully, I had tomatoes last year into November.
Did, I know.
So, anyway, just like everybody, we're trying to get people over to get them outside. We're barbecuing, we're grilling, we're having our little cocktail. It's mainly all been inside.
I know. I do feel really badly for all of the teachers.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they start up tomorrow for CPS.
Oh, tomorrow.
They start up tomorrow. It's very early. Yeah. They start tomorrow. So their last week of summer vacation was like
a washout.
It was, a torrential storm.
But, we got a Cub game in on Friday, which was a lot of fun. Some friends, Christine and Joe, invited us last minute. We got to enjoy the game. It is my least favorite weekend of the year, though.
Air and Water Show. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know me, my friend. Look, I used to like it when I was young, living in the neighborhood, but I have evolved. I have changed. And as I put it out on my social media, I go, how about not doing it when we're at war?
Yeah. Yeah.
What about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, it's been freaking me out even when we weren't at war.
Me too. I mean, my dog and
Well, not even the dog, but just seeing it, it freaks me out just because of the ding dong that's in the White House. I'm like, what is happening?
Exactly. Last year we were at Wrigley Field. The Cubs always seem to be in town during the Air and Water Show, and there's always flyovers.
Yeah.
We were all sitting there watching the game, and last year it was in the news. It was a big deal. They came over like a sonic boom over the field, so low. The players were jumping out of their skin in the dugout. We were freaking out. Windows were broken along in high rises on Lakeshore Drive from the sound. Yes.
Yeah.
And that was so uncalled for. We don't need that. That may be cool for you guys up there, but we're watching a game, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, was this horrible, deafening, loud boom that went over Wrigley Field, and they didn't do it they went over from a high altitude.
Yeah. There we are.
But come on, guys. I mean, and again, I looked up because I wanted to see if my rage was warranted. They do not. The Department of Defense does not give out the exact amount of money that this costs. But it is in the millions of dollars between the planes, the fuel, the personnel, the blah, blah, blah. The city, yes, we make revenue on it, but we are spending tax dollars on something that I think is during a war.
Don't like it.
We don't like it. I don't like it.
Which is, I
don't like it. And, one of my friends who I know is liberal wrote back and said, well, it's a recruiting tool. It's a recruiting tool. Okay, I know we don't have a draft. I know we need to recruit. But there's better ways to recruit than scaring the bejesus out of everybody. So I just, not a fan. Why don't ever remember to leave town? Oh, we're leaving town tomorrow. We're going on a road trip for a week. Why didn't we leave last Monday? I was saying on the way in today.
I know, like. It's
Note
a
to
lot.
self. Anyway, I hate to be. I even years ago I wrote to the Sun Times. I wrote or Tribune. I wrote an editorial that they posted.
Oh, they published it.
Yeah,
oh,
they did.
all right.
Letters to the editor. Anyway, so just
no, I'm with you on that. The Air and Water Show, like, it's always just feels a little. I don't know.
A little performative.
A little performative, a little xenophobic, a little like I don't know, just kind of like Like, no, there's zero disrespect for people who are serving.
I'm a World War. My dad was an Air Force lieutenant colonel. This is where I'm speaking
My dad was in the Air Force as well.
So our dads were in the Air Force. I have nothing but respect for the military. I just don't need to have it, buzzing our neighborhood crazy for days. I just don't need to see it.
It's been a little bit more calm since it's been raining.
What? It has been. I have to tell you.
That's the one thing I've been kind of happy about this sultry weather.
On the way, and they said it was supposed to start right now at 10:30, but they moved it to noon. I'm like, yay.
Oh, no.
And it hasn't been as noisy and crazy in the neighborhood. I don't know if it's because of what happened last year, the rain, a combination, but I do appreciate it.
Well, where I live a little bit further north than you is the turnaround place. So all we hear all day long are wow, just going. I'm like, oh, it freaks me out.
Yeah,
especially during a time where with such discontent and discord that's going on.
Yes, and a crazy man running the Department of Defense.
Yes.
So that's my little soapbox on the Air and Water Show. Sorry, if you have other thoughts, you feel free to give us a call.
Please do.
Let's hear from you. I'm sure you're disagreeing with me out there. I know a lot of you are nodding your head who live in, but when you don't live in the city, when you don't live where Scott and I live, it's all grand because you live way out in the suburbs. You don't see and hear this window-shattering noise going on all the time.
Yeah, it hits you like it's a weird sort of right on the chest kind of sound that happens.
I mean, and people do have PTSD from loud noises. Me, one yes.
Yes.
It's not a pleasant thing. But anyway, give us a call if you have another opinion. I love to talk to you. Enlighten me.
Yeah, 773-763-9278. There we go.
So that's been my week pretty much.
There you go. Yeah, girl.
How about you?
Oh my gosh! Look, I'm so when you are ever in need of something, God always sends you a lesbian.
Yes.
It's so I had the best weekend. My work schedule is weird. I don't necessarily get like an entire full day off ever. But for some reason, this weekend I was able to kind of unplug. Things seemed a little bit manageable. Our neighbors and dear friends are celebrating it's Brooke and Megan. It's Brooke's birthday week. And Megan's mom is in town. And so I was able to get a little like mom energy.
Nice.
We were just kind of hanging out there. Like we were sitting on the patio, Jerry and I, on Friday before it was raining. And then they just kind of like drifted over. And so we had this kind of impromptu little gathering and we're just hanging out. And I'm like, you want me to throw some burgers on the grill? So we just kind of like grilled some stuff and just hung out. And again, just like kind of just we're with each other. And I was getting some of that good mom energy, Yeah. Mama O reminds me a lot of Phyllis.
Aww,
it was great.
That's sweet.
So there was a lot of like, oh, okay, because she was a nurse. She was like, she loves to garden. She's like all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, good, having that energy. And then last night we went out to start the birthday week, celebration week. We went to Boonies.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I can't believe I had never even heard of Boonies. I love my food.
Girl, Boonies is this incredible, it is a Michelin rated, not Michelin star, but Michelin rated Filipino restaurant on Western. I want to say it's like Western near Montrose, maybe. Oh my goodness. The food.
Boonies like it sounds, Boonies.
Mm-hmm. Go to booneyfood.com. Let me tell you, it is incredible. The food was great. Brooke is Filipino, so she's like, this is the food that I grew up on.
Yeah.
They ordered for us. I was like, I'm just gonna put this down after like gazing at it.
Oh, it's a Michelin. It's got a Michelin.
It's rated. Not they're not starred,
right,
but
rated.
it's But it's like it is so good. It is like a contemporary take on classic Filipino dishes. It was so
Looking at
good.
the menu, which I shouldn't be doing because
I know,
I'm
right?
intermittent fasting. Have you noticed the explosion of Filipino food and bakeries in Chicago?
Yeah.
It's just like
We were actually talking about that last night because the people who opened up Boonies, I wish I had more information right now. We were just talking about because they're hunting out the Filipino places. And here there's a little sort of like conglomerate that all came up together that are now experiencing a really big success that's happening.
I mean, Casara, of course, because
there's this place near my house on Damon and Foster. It's called Kanin. I can never know. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. It's Kanin. They're just open for breakfast, and they have those delicious little. Is it musabi? The spam and egg and rice sort of situations, but they have this ube banana pudding that will knock your socks off. It's so good. It's so good. But it was great just to go and to like celebrate Brooke with her and like her wife, Megan ordered, like she did all the ordering and she was like, ma'am, I'm very proud of you with that. And I'm like, that was darn sexy, Megan, of you just ordering everybody, like ordering all the dishes. I mean, it's beautiful. It's communal. So it was like a very social experience. We had like Mama O there. Jerry and I were there. But one of the sweetest things, we were there celebrating Brooke's birthday. And then they just pulled out this little box and put it on the table. I'm like, this is for you. And I'm like, wait, what? Megan in particular, well, they're both artists. Megan went to school actually to be an artist. She also was really stepped up when the last couple months with Emmett because our schedules are weird. She works from home, so she would come over and she would walk him. And she went, I might get a little teary. She said, but this was on one of our last walks. Emmett said that, he wanted to just be with you. And we opened up this box and she had taken an impression of his nose.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
And it's like this metal, it's this strange clay. It's something artistic and something that you do with your hands. So I know nothing about it.
Nor do I.
I know nothing about it.
Help there.
But she took an impression of his nose and then she put in this thing and you blowtorch it and it becomes just basically metal. So we have this little metal like impression of.
We have the paw print.
We've got the paw print.
But I never heard
too.
about the nose. That's
but
very unique.
They were trying to like, Brooke was like, we were feeding him chicken, just trying to like, hey, look up here so we can mush this into your face. But they gave us this very sweet, because they were the good aunties who lived next door who always took care of him. And Brooke was just a godsend.
Oh, that's so nice.
The week leading up to us saying goodbye to him. So it was one of those moments of like, okay, nobody is on their phone. We're all here in community. We're thinking about each other. There was just such a kind and loving and generous kind of vibe that was going on there. So so
we need these times.
Like especially I said,
your baby has just been gone a couple of weeks.
But it was really, really sweet and just so thoughtful. And again, I just kind of envision them just trying to put his little nose into this,
gently shoving his clay in his nose. But
they were not. They were not doing that. Listen to you. Listen to you.
Baby, I'm just going to touch it. You just have to hold your breath for 1 second.
And just do a little bit. So now we can boop his nose whenever we need to. So
and unique, very unique.
Mad
gift.
love. Well, she also for her other friend, our friend Katie, who lost her dog Petey like a while ago. She had the impression of Pete. He was a little tiny weird gremlin dog that didn't like anybody except for Katie. But she did his lower teeth because he had such a weird little underbite going on.
Yeah.
So she put it up, made that into a necklace for her.
Okay, that's a little different.
What do you? Why? What?
Underbite. Mold.
Why not? What is weird about that?
I don't know. a necklace made of an impression of teeth, I guess.
He was a tiny dog. It's literally like an inch long.
It's in the the eyes of the beholder, as we like to say.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know if I would want to have Maggie's teeth in a necklace around my neck.
It's not his actual teeth.
I know. It's an impression.
It's an impression of his teeth.
Let me wrap my brain around it. It's something I've never heard of before.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's something like a feature of Maggie that stood out. Was there something that,
Just everything.
Just everything. Okay. They're all our little babies and everything. Anyway, so thank you
nice.
for
Thoughtful.
it was very thoughtful, and thank you for including us in the birthday celebration, especially sharing some mom time, because I know Mom was just in town for a little bit, so that was always lovely. We got spoiled with 2 nights of lesbians and moms, so it was fantastic. There we are. We should probably take a break
I guess we should do
now. But before we do that, this part about Chicago is brought to you by Team Hochberg. Are you looking to purchase a home or refinance your existing home? Call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender with nearly 800 5-star Google reviews, like this one from Chuck. My wife and I were looking to purchase a condo to be near our grandchildren, and we weren't sure where to begin, so we contacted Team Hochberg, who did an excellent job. David Hochberg was a breath of fresh air, no baloney, and very transparent, which was refreshing. He knows his stuff like the back of his hand. No gimmicks, no BS. Thank you, David. Let's review. Chuck and his wife wanted to move closer to their grandchildren, so they contacted Team Hochberg. David answered their questions and helped them purchase a condo near the people they love most, their grandkids. So if you want the same outstanding service Chuck, his wife, and thousands of WCPT listeners received, call Team Hochberg at 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. That number again is 855-563-2843 or visit that website you know and love, 56david.com. ACM, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 643114. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to jump into the news of the week. Oh, Lordy. You can hear the eyes rolling in my head right now. So stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
You're listening to Out Chicago on WCPT AM and FM's Chicago's Progressive Talk.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, rolling along on this sultry, sweaty, stormy day. It's not even stormy. That's the thing that's annoying. It's just kind of like, blech.
Yeah, it's just
there and sticky and ugh.
It's been challenging. There was in August. I looked it up. I will never forget. I had just moved into the house I lived in right before this one, and August just seemed like it rained everything was awash. I looked it up. Sure enough, 1987. 17 inches of rain in a month, which was a record.
I know. Where are we now? Do you know?
Believe it or not, it's only like 3 point something.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not
What?
kidding. That's what it
all right,
said.
that is kooky pants
I
right
know,
there.
but yeah.
And anyway, maybe they can figure it out tomorrow on Monday on Choose Views, because Richard Chu's guests are going to be Sean McCann, Michigan State Senator and 2026 candidate for U.S. House in the 4th District of Michigan, and Mike Nellis, Democratic strategist and host of Endless Urgency with Mike Nellis. That's Choose Views weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., the Heartland Signal website, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook. But at least the weather has kind of tamped down, seemingly, the air and water show. And it looks like Rich in Roscoe Village has something to say about that. Rich, welcome to Out Chicago.
Hey, good morning, America.
Good morning.
Hey, Rich.
Hey, Ellen.
So what do you think, Rich?
Well, I guess if you're doing a radio show, you don't need any sonic booms.
That is true.
Yeah, I had just discovered Alanis Morissette. And as Ellison knows, I'm always searching for the next chord. So a couple of years ago, Jagged Little Pill was playing a gig, but the air show was going on, and I thought this band is in a tight spot. Well, guess what happened? They just came to a point in the song, whatever song that is, and just at the right moment, the Jets went over the stage, and it was the perfect moment, and it was the perfect rock and roll moment. And, they were in a tough spot, but, man, that sounded good. And I guess if you're doing a radio show, you don't need sonic booms, but y'all caught a break, and the sun's out.
Oh,
well,
good.
there we
Thank
go.
you.
Great. We are in a windowless studio, Rich, but thank you so much for finding
Thanks for sharing that
the
story,
beauty in
Rich.
accidental flyover
Yes.
sonic booms.
Thank you for being my friend, Ellen.
You're welcome. Oh, Rich.
Yes, ma'am.
Rich, so nice to hear from you.
It's good to hear from you, and I'll see you on the radio.
Thanks, Rich. You take care. I'll see you. I'll see you soon.
All
my
right,
friend.
Rich. Thanks
All the best.
for calling in and having a little brief reunion going on right here. That's some good news that's happening. But girl, this week.
Yeah, it's been.
It's so like I was texting with my sister the other day, or last night, and I'm like, I think I'm waiting for I'm mad as hell and I just can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Like that I'm waiting for that moment for me to come through, because I am just so confused. I am so confused how these people can support this barely sentient being. I don't understand it. I do not get it. I don't understand how they have any inclination that this man is actually looking out for the best interests of American citizens.
He has them duped. He has them thinking everything he does, including this war, is in their best interest because they want to believe in their president, regardless of who he is or she.
Yeah, well, no, they would never say she.
Yeah, of
they
course
wouldn't say
not.
she.
No, they wouldn't.
No, unless she was a trad wife.
Yeah, that's all they care about.
But it's so, I'm just so confused. I mean, like the economy, it's like, okay, how are you all doing out there? Like,
Well, did you see what he said the other day? He said yesterday, yeah, you're paying a little more, but it's worth it because Iran they have harbored so many terrorists and they are so bad, and it's worth it for you to pay more money. He said that yesterday. He's so tone deaf.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That's their whole thing. That right now, the big mega talking point. A correction. Last week I said it looks like they've tamped down this whole communism thing. You were correct. He's not. That whole thing. They just realized because. Yeah, but I just don't understand. I don't understand.
There is a group called Leaving MAGA. I read about it. I just looked at it. It's a national nonprofit organization and support network funded by former Trump activist Rich Logus. It provides free weekly support sessions and resources specifically designed for individuals stepping away from the MAGA movement, as well as for people dealing with the relational strain of having MAGA-affiliated loved ones. So there is actually a support
there are
group.
People, there's support
There's
group.
help out there if you happen to be listening and you're not, you don't sing from the same hymn book that we do here. There's help for you folks. There's literally a group to help you leave MAGA.
Yeah. Give them a call.
Give them a call. Google it. They're there for you.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Scott. I wrote to an old friend who has been a long time, and I met him through business, but we became friends. And I haven't talked to him in a couple of years. And I said, hey, I hope you're well. I have to ask, do you still support Donald Trump? I love you either way.
Right.
And he has not written back to me.
Oh, all right.
But how can good, smart people not see it? Let's face it, they are starting to see it. Some of them are starting to see it. There's no question about it. I read this morning there's a MAGA gift store in Tennessee that is closing. It's been
Where in Tennessee? Do you remember?
It was somewhere, I don't remember.
Because you're heading into that neck of the
Knoxville.
woods.
Yes. It's off of Highway 4. I asked Kathy, and we're going to pass by that. And she said, when I drop you off at the airport, we might see it. But there are signs of hope. But we're going to get into this. But these primaries that happened the other day, the Democratic Socialists are popping up, and we're talking about that party. There was a poll that I saw this morning that 50-some% of Democrats are okay with that and like that. Mm-hmm. But Rahm Emanuel was on another network saying we cannot go that direction because we have to win red districts, red states, and that's a bridge too far.
But here's the thing that while I appreciate the National Democratic Party, what we need to be doing, we are 50 states. We are 50 states, and each state has our own specific needs. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I think we need to start looking at, if a democratic socialist is going to be great for one state, go for it, or if someone a little bit more moderate is going to be great for this state.
Like what we saw Michigan versus Wisconsin, for example.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen El Sayed's latest ad?
No, I haven't.
It's so brilliant. It has these two older white people who are like, who is this? Where did this man with the crazy name Abdul Sayed come from? Like, from here, we're his grandparents.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're like, oh my gosh, he became a doctor. We raised him on Michigan values. He buys his groceries so he understands what's going on. Like, it is the most pitch perfect.
Good.
And like at the end of it, he pops up from behind the sofa and he's like, I support the heck out of this message. And grandma just goes, language. Like, it is just beautiful.
Nice.
And brilliant. But like, I think different states have different needs,
yes, of course.
And we cannot be looking at this sort of like cookie cutter sort of thing for all the parties. And if it's going to be, let's get some younger folks in for certain states, great. If it's for voting
fresh
thinking, but also just different perspectives, and a lot of people are aging out.
Well, the boomers are the only ones that seem to be voting in some of these elections. So we got to get the young people excited, and none of the candidates that are out there right now that have been out there the last several years are exciting the younger people. They're just not.
For what?
For president, obviously.
Oh, you're talking about the presidential.
Yeah, the presidential
stuff.
election. I heard Andy Bashir on this morning, and he sounded so smart and so right. He wants to get rid of the Electoral College. He wants term limits. Make sure that Social Security and Medicare are enshrined. I mean, just. He's speaking, I agree, this Electoral College has got to go. We have to vote for. We can't have
the
states.
people.
Yeah, there's some states that are we're letting states that have a population of a small city, to have the same amount of say. When it comes to senators, for example, I mean, they had 2 senators. We have 2 senators. I mean,
well, that's fine. I mean, senators.
No, it's not fine. I mean,
no, are you talking about the senator, representation, or are you talking about Electoral College? Because that's different. That's a different thing.
I know. I'm veering off into 2 different things, but. The representation is not fair with the Electoral College. It is. Yeah. Initially it was made to be fair for the farmers. When our country looked very different, the Electoral College came into being. Very, very different. And they love to hold on to. They want to change everything that isn't, to their way, the Republicans. But when it comes to something like the Electoral College, they know it favors them, the way they've gamed the system with the redistricting and the gerrymandering. And it's got to stop because it's ridiculous. It is not serving the people. It's not serving democracy.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. But the only thing that we can do right now is just really just get out and vote and become as well educated with the candidate. Get to know your candidates. They're out there that are we're choosing them.
Yeah.
Get to know them. We've got to show up and vote.
We have to show up and vote, especially young people. We need you. I mean, the boomers, you can count on us to get out there and vote. But we're aging out, as Scott said. We need young people to.
I'm not talking about voting. I'm talking about the people that are in the office running, because we've got some 80-year-olds that are in there.
Yeah, it's the people running that are in our government right now is basically old white men. Let's face it. That is it. Old white men. It's not working. And then
there are things that are going to be changing. You've got in Minnesota, Amy Klobuchar. She's the Democratic nominee for governor, and she seems to be. That seems to be kind of like a pretty secure, sort of locked and loaded. You've got Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. She secured the nominee for Senate. In there, she unseated U.S. Representative Angie Craig, who is a proud out lesbian. But we do also have like a very big ally with Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. And she said to The Advocate, I think it's clear to me that civil rights and human rights should always be something that Democrats stand for. When a community is under attack, our job is to stand up for each other, which I think is fantastic. And she also was like, don't be scared about this transgender boogeyman that's going to be coming up. And if you do, if you don't stand up for things that you claim to believe in, then I don't know that you really believe in those things. And I think that is a very, very good point. And, right there, I'm going to leave it right there because that'll lead us right into our next guest. So we're going to take a quick break. Sure. And when we come back, we'll continue talking about the Wisconsin primaries. Because our good friend, Madison Alder, Dina Nina Martinez Rutherford, secured the Democratic nomination to represent the 76th District in the State Assembly. So we're going to be chatting with her on the other side of the break. Please stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on Heartland Signal.
I'm David Dodd with the Chicago Black Gay Men's Caucus. Welcome back to Out Chicago on WCPT 820.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, just rolling along. Hey, and tomorrow on Live, Local, and Progressive, Joan Esposito will be taking your calls and talking to Chris Burry, former TV newsman and recently retired DePaul journalism professor, and Illinois Congressman Mike Quigley, who I believe is running for mayor.
Yep.
Live, Local, and Progressive, weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., heartlandsignal.com, and tune in. Well, as we've been talking about this hour, Wisconsin held its midterm primary this week, and a lot of attention was on the race for the Democratic nominee for governor. And also the eyebrows of a transportation secretary's son-in-law. Have you seen these things?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh, it's like if Bert and Ernie had a baby. They're made of electrical tape. I'm telling you, it's incredible. However, but history was made when Madison Alder, Dina Nina Martinez Rutherford secured the Democratic nominee to represent the 76th District in the State Assembly. And joining us now is our good friend, Dina Nina Martinez Rutherford.
Hello, you two.
Hello,
and congratulations.
I hope you are watching this on YouTube because I am smiling so big and so wide for you. Congratulations. What was that day like?
Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you. It was wild. It was the first time in a year that I just had a chance to hang out with my best friends. And so I went to breakfast and just kind of chilled a lot of the day and then, did some signing at the, held signs at the polling places. But, and then the party came, and I didn't know what was going to hapen. It was a hard race.
I know, yeah. But Wisconsin, y'all were just like kooky pants this cycle, weren't ya?
We told Texas, hold our beer.
Yes. And you're, oh my gosh, totally.
It was wild.
I can only imagine. It's like, so what were you, like, where were you when the results were coming in? Like, where did you watch the polls?
We were at a brewery called Giant Jones Brewery that's owned by a trans lady and her wife. And it's where we started, where we launched, where we did Trans Day of Visibility. And they've been incredible partners. And it was just lovely coming back to the place it all started. Very full circle.
Yeah. I can only imagine. It's so great. So, and now the work begins again.
And now the work begins.
Yeah, again. Still. So okay. So what would you say are some of your accomplishments as Alder that you think, and what would you say that what do you hope that should you win, that you can take to the state assembly?
Well, as an Alder, I've helped secure over $60 million in affordable housing investment, something I'm really proud of. I removed credit score from subsidized housing applications. I mean, we already know that people that are seeking subsidized housing are having,
Yeah,
Like,
because
we
actually,
already know they're going through it.
yeah, a friend of mine who has had like a very interesting run-in with his landlord, a trans man who's had some very interesting run-ins with his landlords and situations. And he's like, look, he always pays his rent. He's always on time. I work with him, but he's like, my credit score is really bad because of a former relationship screwed everything up. And so he had to get out of his lease, but fortunately he was able to find somewhere like that. But the credit score can really, really mess somebody up when it comes to renting, even though they have like a good history of paying rent on time.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it's ludicrous, it's arbitrary, and it's a way to keep people out of housing, and people need housing.
I know that's
it's so shocking that we can so easily deny people housing based on, a bad experience, an experience with an ex, losing your job and having to deal with something. It's perverse to me. And so, doing that for subsidized housing applications at the city was a good start. But I think we need to figure out ways to really be able to offer stability and sustainability for people that are just struggling and people that have struggled and are back on their feet but are trying to keep on their feet, stay on their feet, right?
Yeah,
and we look at housing when you're it's so much cheaper to keep someone in their housing than rehouse them. So let's just keep people in their homes, save money from a state level, and do right by humans.
There you go. I'm doing that. I'm doing the little millennial snap.
All the sense. Dina, what would you say to a transgender kid in a small Wisconsin town who sees what's happening nationally, politically in this country, and is frightened about the future? What would you say to them?
Well, I understand how frightening it is, and I want you to know that there is hope. There's hope in community, and there is a movement of people that value who you are and will welcome you any chance they get. And now you will be able to see somebody who's trans in a space of power fighting for you. I'm so honored, and it's weird.
Yeah. I
was
go
ahead.
No, you go.
I was just talking about this with my best friend, and he was like, when we met in 2005, did you ever see this happening? And I was like, definitely not.
I know,
That's what makes life fun.
I know. That is what,
and interesting, right?
Because we met in 2012 or something, like somewhere, like right after you moved to Madison. It was like early in 2014 or something. And it's like, oh, we're just like the funny gay kids over here. And now look at you. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think part of that, your history, your story in terms of your own struggles with just struggles being like you were a server, you worked in the service industry, you were an independent producer, like you understand what real people go through. And, I think that story kind of maybe helped. I don't know. You were on the ground.
Yeah.
What do you think, as you were talking and listening to the constituents that you may represent? I mean, you're already on the city council, so you represent a lot of Madison anyway. What were you hearing from them that they were like, this is what we need, and we see you, we understand you, get it? Yeah.
I mean, it was a little bit of multiple things, right? The biggest thing is everybody's starting to feel the crunch. They're scared. They're terrified of the authoritarian takeover that's happening at our federal government. They want people who are going to stand up and fight. And you know me.
I know. Look out.
I come from Dallas, and I was a drag queen, so do not mess with me. But people are terrified, and they want their property taxes lowered, and they want to be able to afford rent. And I think being someone who has experienced the way that policy fails poor people and working people, made sense to them, and I think they felt that, and I think they felt how personal this run was for me.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, it's not political, it's personal, but like politics are dumb and weird, and it's just a bizarro world. Like it's insane. And also, like, I understand that to get anything done, we have to be in that space collaborating.
Well,
so, and then the other thing is, sorry,
no.
I know you need to wrap up really quickly because I'm a talker.
No.
But but I was going to say, and the other thing is that people are concerned about their neighbors. Mm-hmm. Like, they understand how much homelessness we're experiencing in Madison. They understand that those are human beings that are valued and need to be taken care of. And I believe that any housing program has to include homelessness services. It has to include rapid rehousing. It has to include homelessness diversion. It has to include mental health services, addiction care, all of those things. I think one of the things that really gets people tripped up is they get in and they're just focused on one thing, but everything is so intricately tied together. We're all part of the system, and the systems all feed into other parts of the systems. How do we make that to where it's finally working for people instead of working for power?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Now, look, our time is wrapping up a little bit, but I want to make sure that people know. So, like, as you are heading towards the midterms, what are the next steps for you, and how can people, support your campaign? Yeah.
Well, the campaign was a competitive primary. I have a Republican opponent for the general, but it's very unlikely in this district that a Republican will win.
Good to hear.
So any support that you give to me during this will help us take care of the things we need to take care of for the last bits of this campaign, and also go to support our Democratic Party throughout the state, making sure that people are taken care of, making sure that we can actually elect David Crowley to governor, and so we can actually flip the Senate and the Assembly.
Amen to that.
So we can get stuff done.
Yes. Yes.
Well, good luck to you making history, because I know you will. You'll be the first transgender person ever to serve in the Wisconsin legislature. And that visibility alone hopefully will give people hope all over Wisconsin and all over the country. So kudos to you. Good luck.
So. Thank you. And you can go to votedinanina.com to find out more and to chip in.
There you go. And as I said earlier in the show, look, I hate using the phrase love in action because it's a prayer to go kind of reference, but you really are love in action. You were like, I see a problem that these people are suffering. I want to help them. And that I think is the most wonderful thing about you. I am so stinking proud of you. I can't even see straight. But that's joy. I can only see things gay. Go to vote for Dina Nina, votedinanina.com to find out more about the campaign. Madison Alder and Democratic nominee for Wisconsin State Assembly, Dina Nina Martinez Rutherford. Thank you so much for joining us today, and good luck as you head towards the midterms.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it is the second hour of Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Welcome back. I'm Kim Hunt with Affinity Community Services. You're listening to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to the second hour of Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ella Miller, just rolling along. And hey, if you haven't already, you can follow Heartland Signal on X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Heartland Signal, all one word. Be sure to check heartlandsignal.com for daily updates. And while you're there, check out Heartland Signal's free newsletter every week. Heartland Signal's senior political analyst, Aaron Kleinman, delivers Radio Free America, highlighting stories that matter in state politics topics but aren't getting enough attention. So subscribe today at heartlandsignal.com/newsletters. And people always ask what they can do to support the work we do at WCPT and Heartland Signal. As always, the best way is to support our sponsors. Please do that. Let them know that you appreciate them advertising with us. But if you're on Facebook, so I guess that means you're over 50. There's another way. You can subscribe to the WCPT 820 and Heartland Signal Facebook pages. A subscription is just 99 cents a month, and we'll have some special offers for our subscribers coming soon. So visit us, WCPT 820 and Heartland Signal on Facebook, and hit that subscribed button. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm so excited to have guests
In studio,
but also these particular guests, because acclaimed storyteller, Dr. Ada Chang, is partnering with Nothing Without a Company on 5 performances across Chicago of her solo show, The Trouble with My Hair, Coloring, Cutting, and Coming Into Who I Am. And joining us now is Ada Chang and Anna Rose Epstein. It's always, I was screwing up a little bit. Producing director of Nothing Without a Company. Ada and Anna Rose, welcome to the show.
Thank you
welcome
so much.
Back
so good to see you.
Yeah,
I know, it's so good to see all of you.
Yeah, it has been a few years, right?
It's been a hot second, hasn't it?
You look healthy and young. So.
Thank you.
We're
Thank you.
trying to go backwards.
It's that good Christian living, you know, and doing a lot of this underneath here. Retinol helps too, as well.
Fruits and vegetables, right? Also that too.
After this weekend, no. Oh my God, I went to the best Filipino meal ever, but I was looking for a vegetable somewhere, but please, all this food, it's so good. Anyway, Anna Rose, let's start with you. Just let's tell everybody, remind folks about the mission and the history of Nothing Without a Company.
Yeah, so we started as a nonprofit in 2008. So in 2028, we will be in our 20th year.
Amazing.
My wife, Hannah, and I run the company. She's the artistic director and producing director, and we do immersive, site-specific new work that's focused on AA, NHPI, and...
It was Sofa,
King, Queer.
There we are.
There's no...
Just that was what I was trying to say. We had to slow that down.
Yes. And that was 2024, and right before the new P came into office.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when you saw me.
I know.
That's right.
Well, now, Ada, can you tell us about the history and the development of the show, The Trouble with My Hair, Coloring, Cutting, and Coming Into Who I Am?
So this is my third solo performance. I have done one which is really about Asian American experiences, the first one. The second one is about, for example, gender-based violence. So this one, it took me several years because I really want to have a very different way of processing trauma. And so I'm going to ask Ellen this question. You go to hair salon for the hair?
Yes.
And if you have problem with your hair, do you tell your hairstylist what you want and how you don't like the hair or like the hair? Do you give them feedback?
Well, my stylist is my cousin.
So
Fascinating, be brutally
And
honest.
she does such a fantastic job. I tell her what I want, but I haven't had to correct her. Honestly, there's other stylists maybe in the past, and one guy decided he was going to basically shave the side of my head when in the late '80s, and make a shock of hair that he put a color into, and I was like, okay, how am I going to go to work? And it ended up working out. But anyway, you're right. It is difficult, though.
So the premise of the show is I have been trying to break up with my hairstylist for several years. And I have a difficult time trying to explain because it is so cultural, right? It is so kind of culturally about what is beautiful, and that also tied to gender and sexuality. And I find it so difficult to explain the hair. How does it display femininity, the particular type of femininity I want, or the kind of a mixture of femininity and masculinity? And so I use that trying to break up with my hairstylist, and I don't know how to. I don't know what to say. Very similar to the regular breakups in our relationship, and use that as a way to think about, I'm paying this hairstylist money, and I can't tell her what I want or what I don't like, which is really, what's wrong with me? Why am I having a difficult time drawing my boundaries, telling people about what I want and my desire? And I use that in a very funny way, breakup. Right?
Right.
That everybody has that experience to talk about, using hair to talk about gender and sexual identity. And so use that to take people on a journey about how when I first, became a teenager, the first thing my mother did was she took me to a hair salon to have a perm.
Oh, okay.
Yes, as
Okay,
my mother
yes.
did the same.
The
yes.
perm is a rite of passage into heterosexual womanhood.
Yes.
And so I use the hair as a way for us to think about heteronormativity. How do we wear our hair? How do we use that to display our, gayness or queerness or heteronormativity, right? Heterosexuality. And so I use that to explore not just the kind of it's not just a coming out story, but really it's about a story for everybody, heteronormativity, how our desire and the way that we present ourselves through our hair is very much heterosexually based.
Yeah.
I can see that. Well, because it's definitely like on the binary of like, boys look like this, girls look like this. Yes.
And so it's really using breakup, which everybody has experienced. How do you draw boundaries?
Girl, I just ghosted mine. I just never went back.
Yeah, I know.
feel bad.
Same with my previous one, and I loved her, but I it's hard. You're right.
Absolutely, but that's what I have been doing for my whole life. That I couldn't tell people specifically or loudly what I am or who I am, right? But in some way, it's the same pattern with my hairstylist. I can't quite tell people that I don't like this. So I really want to kind of, what's the way that I can get to a point where I clearly tell people what I like, what I don't like, and we can have adult conversation without me walking away, without me breaking up.
Right.
And that's actually about where we are as a society. So in some way, the kind of premise, the starting point is about hair. And it's about gender and sexuality and queerness, about family expectations. So deep down, it's about how do we coexist?
Right.
How do we break up in a way that we can still preserve that relationship or integrity and dignity? And that's something I have to learn. It's how do I engage in difficult conversations?
Well, it's also like that. Like this sounds so. I'm just sitting here listening. I'm like, of course it's going to be like a bigger picture, because it's you, Ada. You are so smart and you're so funny and you're so gifted at telling stories.
Thank you.
But just sitting here thinking, it's like, a hairstylist is a very intimate relationship.
Yes,
they are touching you.
Yes.
I had somebody who, like a stranger, grabbed my glasses and put them on their face. And I'm like, no. But I let this stranger just sit and do this thing to my head like a dentist too. Like that's just weird.
Yes.
If you think about it. So there's got to be some sort of like power too, and be like, we're creating this relationship because it is so intimate.
Yes.
And it's also just so interesting because I've known you for some years, and your hair is always different every time I see you.
Right.
That you would ever have this shyness.
I'm so different in public. It's so easy if I, in some way, if I want to critique something, that's not an issue. But when it comes to intimate relationship, right, I think I'm still conditioned, that kind of a gender condition where you want to be polite. You want to be respectful.
You don't want to offend anybody.
You don't want to hurt
make
other
them not
people's
like
feelings.
you.
Or you people please. I think this is the part that I'm really struggling with is I think the way that I'm interacting with my hairstylist is my people pleasing. That I can tell her that I'm not happy with it, but I don't know how to explain it in such a way that I say it's actually complicated.
Yeah.
It's very culturally embedded and layered that I don't think a lot of people, when they are trained, they simply kind of focus on the craft. How do you cut? But it just doesn't work. In my show, I talk about cheating. At some point, I couldn't stand it. I went to Chinatown, and I went into Chinatown, find this hair salon with tons of stylists from Asia, and I had the best haircut. And so it was as if they knew what looks attractive to me, for me, and how do they, cut a hair that works for my feature, that display the type of femininity that I like. And that's it's unspoken, but it's so cultural. And that's the layer that I want to kind of explore. How do I explain to people about their craft that is so unexplainable? And I think that's about culture. That's also about queerness too.
Yeah.
Right?
So now, how did the partnership between you, Nothing Without a Company, come about?
Yeah, so our literary manager, Kevin, their partner, G, made this awesome event where Ada was workshopping this piece and then also had hairstylist cutting hair, and it was just really cool curation of and then Ada did the piece, and Hannah and I had been meeting Ada for several years, and we had no idea that she was in our family, in the queer family.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't want to assume.
Right.
But after the show,
It was the hair. The hair did it.
I mean, older generation, no offense, but like, you can't, you don't know, you can't always tell. And we don't like to assume.
Right.
You can't ask as a nonprofit. It's not legal.
Child, let me just tell you, as an older person seeing younger people, it's like, I don't know, like usually like seeing fingernail polish on a guy was like,
Right.
oh, and now it's like, no, I'm just in a band.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's like,
And I was really surprised when they said, "Oh, you're in the family," and I thought, I don't think I'm ever in a closet. I just don't wear it like waving pom pom or something.
like I do. Well, I'm not wearing my rainbow today, but normally I wear rainbow. So we were walking home and we were like, this piece would actually be amazing in a salon because it's about hair and we do immersive site-specific theater. So then we started thinking, let's make this happen. And so we have 2 salons that we're doing the piece at and 3 community spaces. And we have openers for Ada's piece. So we have 2 to 3 5 to 10 minute performers that are performing based on the themes of her piece that were all submitted, and that's per show. So there's
it's like a rotating cast of openers.
Yeah, basically.
Fabulous.
It's like 20 plus artists. So
oh my gosh.
Everyone's getting paid through Crossroads Foundation. We got a grant, and it's just like a very awesome collaboration.
Absolutely. And I have to say, I want to commend both of them. I just have such a, and I have to say, before we start, I don't want to make any decision. I'm going to do something that is, I can be very controlling, but I decided I'm going to do something different. I'm going to fully trust them.
A wise move.
And I say, no matter what, don't involve me.
Great.
You make all the decisions. And that was the best decision
so
ever made.
you can focus on the work.
Absolutely. And
yeah.
I just have been so happy with everything, just the kind of the thoughtfulness, the kind of the whole team, the way that they do the social media, they pull people together. I'm just so 100% happy, and I thought from now on.
Are you just going to be like, all right, maybe you'll take off that producer hat and pass that along?
Be trusting.
Yeah.
Just let it go. Let other people do their thing and trust other people. That was so good that I don't have to worry about anything. I just show up and do my performance. That's it.
Amazing.
I'm also a little controlling, so I wouldn't necessarily. You got to be on producer's butt sometimes. But
it's true.
Yeah, not always me, but sometimes me.
Ada, there's a lot of vulnerability, obviously, involved in what you're doing. How do you decide which parts of your own life belong on stage and which part you remain to just kind of remain yours alone?
For this show, there is a part and which kind of speaks to the difficulty of marketing and promoting the show or even performing the show. It's less a problem in Chicago. There is a scene which is very intimate. It's about 2 women, intimate scene. And think about the time that we're in. And I'm doing this piece about kind of we are kind of having intimate moments on the bed. And it's, even though it's me performing, but it's really about 2 women. And that's the part, I could take it out, not do that part, but I thought it was so important that we cannot just watch a performance that is all about the brain. Because gay people have sex.
Yes, they do. Oh.
I'm assuming you do. And I want that part that is so important. That we have that intimacy, and not just the kind of intimacy in terms of emotional, that physical intimacy on stage.
Yeah.
And but that part, I have to say that I've been traveling around, to different French festivals. That there is the part that there is the kind of a concern for safety. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's not just being queer, but also with being Asian too.
Asian, yeah.
And if you go to big cities, that's a different issue. But when you go to small town, you don't know what people would do, right? And so there is a part as I'm going around kind of performing different cities, I'm always kind of strategizing, how do I promote the show in such a way that I can bring people in who are willing to learn and to really engage, but not necessarily people who are hostile,
Yeah.
right? Because I think we still need to be very careful, right, in terms of at this point in time where when you do a piece particularly really touch upon very, very much not just in terms of discussing the issue, but really it's about physical intimacy, going to the bedroom and how do we have sex, right?
Yeah.
And that part can be very triggering, but it's so important because I think it's so important to think about intimacy, not just at an emotional level, but also at a visceral and physical level. And so that's the part that part is very vulnerable. Like imagine myself on stage and everybody is watching me having sex with myself, right?
Yeah.
And but that's also that part that I really connect me with the audience the most.
Yeah. Look, when I was doing stand-up, I was like, one of my things was like, I wanted to make sure that I talked about gay sex during my set because like people, there was a whole, like when marriage equality passed, everyone was so great, but like there was this, then that was like what 2015, and then in 2017 there was a study that was released from the University of Indiana that was saying that like they're behind gay same-sex marriage, but they don't want to see intimacy.
Especially between men.
Especially between men.
Yes. Yeah.
So I understand like the need, like, and the importance of saying this, of vocalizing. Okay. I have so many more things that I want to talk to you about, but we have another guest that's coming up. But I do want to say, like, I love the fact, if you please go see Ada Chang's show. She's a delightful storyteller, like an incredible performer. But I love that it's ending up at Center on Halsted, like in the Leppen Theater, right there, and
it's in the smaller room in the front.
It's in the front.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
great.
The smaller room, not the theater.
No.
Yeah.
We didn't think we could pack 300 people.
So what's the size of the other theater?
That show's actually almost sold out. So our second weekend is almost sold out. Our coming weekend, this coming weekend, still has seats available.
Yeah. But I love that the comedy group Stir Friday Night is going to be there for the final show.
Yes.
They have been a huge presence in the Chicago comedy scene for 30 years. It is a group that is made up of comedians, actors, improvisers from all over the Asian diaspora.
Yes.
And I love the fact that you're going to be having this conversation with them. It sounds like it's going to be like quite a special moment.
Yes, and this is a solo performance. We're also going to have post-show sort of dialogue, which is really important. And we would be talking about, falling in love, right? Which is everybody.
Yeah.
Hair, falling in love.
Yeah.
One final question for you. One of your mottos is make your life the best story you tell.
Hey, I'm living my best life.
What's the next chapter of Ada Chang's story look like?
Oh, maybe another love story.
Okay. Yeah. We need all the love we can get right now.
I'm single and looking to mingle.
All right, you heard it here first. She is single and ready to mingle, everybody. So get on it there.
That's a good ending for the show,
There
right?
you go. Oh my gosh. Well, while we wait for that one to come out, don't miss Ada Chang's The Trouble with My Hair, Coloring, Cutting, and Coming Into Who I Am, presented by Nothing Without a Company. It's for 5 performances that start this week on the 21st. They're all over. For a full list of shows and venues, head to nothingwithoutaccompany.org. There we are, Ada Chang, Anna Rose, E.E. Epstein.
Thank you so much.
So much for joining us today.
Great to have you both back.
It's always just a breath of fresh air to hang out with you folks. Keep telling stories.
I will.
Keep sharing. Keep creating empathy and changing lives. Connection. That's what it's all about.
Humanity.
That's what it is.
That's what we need right now more than anything.
I love it. All right, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to be speaking with another person who's out there telling stories and cultivating stories. Richard Knight Jr. is going to give us the lowdown for the Reeling Film Festival that's going to be coming up. So stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Yeah.
I'm filmmaker Stephen Cohn. Welcome back to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ella Miller, just rolling along. Hey, tomorrow on Driving It Home, Patty Vasquez will be joined by comedians Soli Santos and Evie Kato. They're funny. Driving It Home with Patty Vasquez, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., the Heartland Signal website, tune in, YouTube, and Facebook. So the full lineup has been released for the 44th Reeling, the Chicago LGBTQ International Film Festival that's coming up September 17th through the 27th. And joining us now to spill the tea on what's coming up for the second longest running LGBTQ film fest in the world is our good friend, Richard Knight Jr. Richard, welcome back to the show.
Oh, good morning, you two.
Good morning. Or actually say it's just a good evening. Thank you for showing up in the middle of the night, my little night owl.
You two are worth getting up for.
Oh, thanks. Next time we're going to get you in the studio. How about that?
Say again?
We're going to get you in the studio next time, okay?
But could we do it like at 3 a.m.?
Sure. We'll do it at 3 a.m. There we go.
Middle of my work day? Yeah. No, of course. I'd love to do that. Sure.
Oh, my gosh. Well, hey, we're so excited. Again, Reeling Film Festival. We are so lucky that it is here in Chicago, the world's second longest running LGBTQ film fest.
Yeah, what's the first?
Frameline, San Francisco.
Okay, cool.
Fine,
Yeah.
fine, San Francisco.
You might kind of expect that. I mean, that's okay. And I always say that we are the second oldest in the universe that we know of.
There we go.
That's going for us, too.
But it's so great that you're back involved. You were programmer for narrative features for Reeling this year. What's going on for... First, let's talk the fun, glamorous night. What are we doing when we kick off the 44th Reeling, the Chicago International LGBTQ International Film Festival on the 17th?
Okay, so, 44 times Brenda Webb, our founder, has, presided over this. And this might be one of the most exciting opening nights we've ever had. We are so thrilled to be opening with La Bola Negra, which is translated as The Black Ball. It's a Spanish epic that won Best Directors at Cannes. It is a 3-hour queer epic that is going to blow you away. I mean, it is so complex and beautiful from beginning to end. It's a riveting movie, 3 different stories interspersed between 3 different time periods. And, I was a film critic for a very long time for Windy City Times, reviewing from a queer perspective. Mm-hmm. And of course, we got a sneak peek, and thanks. And this is thanks to Jerry Nunn, actually, who put us in touch with the Netflix people who own the film. And then they asked us all for our kind of what's your take on this and blah blah blah. And I remember distinctly, several times being in the screening room and like, okay, we were the first people in town to see Brokeback Mountain. We're the first people to see Carol. And one of the last things when I stopped reviewing was Moonlight. And I remember distinctly turning to a friend of mine and say, I am so glad that I have lived long enough to see a film like this. This film is going to join those ranks.
Wow.
I'm not kidding you. It is sensational. So, I mean, come on. That's
So when you say that it's an epic, immediately I go, I've got Odyssey on the brain because I've been doing that lately. But so, like, what does the story follow for this film?
Well, I would immediately say this movie actually has really compelling characters.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. That's helpful.
It has really it's based on the legendary writer. Okay, it's Lorca, Garcia Lorca.
Okay.
Is it Federico? Okay, and he left an unfinished play. I want to say it's 4 pages, and a lot of it focuses on that particular piece.
Okay.
And what happened in the circumstances in Spain during the Civil War in the 30s. I don't want to give too much away.
Great. Yeah. No. But that right there. I'm in.
And all I can tell you again is it takes place in three different stories in the 30s, and in more recently. In 2017, if someone is trying to track this story, there's a really lovely supporting part from Penelope Cruz, who is so fun. And there is this Glenn Close plays. She's in it too. And I will tell you, it was very unexpected, but there's an interchange that happens between Glenn Close's character and another character, and I choked up. It was so moving and beautiful. So we are the first people to see it. It's going to be in theaters, I want to say mid-October, and Netflix has announced that they're positioning this for their Oscar campaign. They're going to try to, they're going all out with this film. This is going to be really their emphasis this year. And having seen the film, I can't wait to see it again.
All right. I'm excited. So that's going to happening on September 17th when Reeling opens.
At the Historic Music Box.
At the Historic Music Box, which is always always so much fun to go to that opening night.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful. So what are some other highlights from the festival for the 44th Reeling, the Chicago International LGBTQ Film Festival?
Well, we have over 7,000 movies.
Wow.
Is that all?
We don't, but it's like, whoa. If I start naming stuff, I mean, I can. Our centerpiece.
Wait, I got a quick question before you go into how many films, since there are that many, how many films were submitted this year?
Oh, I'm going to say it's in the hundreds. Now, this year, I'm having such a fabulous time because unlike other times, I am co-programming features with Tatum Yancey, who is so delightful. Brenda Webb herself is doing documentaries, and Iona Bodum, if I'm saying that correctly, is doing shorts. So we have a real team together, which is so exciting. And Tatum and a whole team of pre-screeners went through a lot of the entries. And then there's a point where then I come in and say, well, let me decide. Let me look at these things. And I will.
I've got discerning taste. Yes.
Let me just put my 2 cents in. So it's a ton. And then, of course, all through the year, but leading up to this, and I came in the process pretty late. I mean, honestly, what drew me in, Brenda was like, okay, because I'm working, as you know, a lot of my own projects, my music and my writing, that kind of thing. I mean, she was like, okay, I have this co-programmer that you're going to get to work with, which is a really unusual situation for me.
And that's one way to put it, unusual, yeah.
Yeah, because usually, I instigate my own stuff and whatever. And I thought, okay, this would be really, really good at your advanced age to sit down and see if you can work with somebody else.
And I'm sure it was a huge success.
I can't say enough. about Tatum. We've just had so much fun, and good arguments. Like, okay, why do you like this one so much? Or, and I would say, okay, and this is why I think, and blah blah blah. And a lot of this comes from our fearless leader, Brenda Webb. Okay, we've got a lot of things to think about. Okay, does it work aesthetically, artistically? Is there going to be some kind of a draw? Is it this? Is it that? There's a lot of factors that go into putting this together. And then what fits where, and then who's available. I mean, one of the things I'm super excited about is a film that's played the circuit. It's playing here Saturday night. It's called Test. And it's from a filmmaker, Sam McConnell, who has been in Reeling several times with shorts. And he has directed this film that was written and stars a bodybuilder named Brock Urich. And they're coming in for the festival. So that's on Saturday. And you talk about a gritty, right-in-the-moment drama. It's about a guy who really wants to turn pro in the bodybuilding area and lives with his mom, played by Tammy Blanchard, the Emmy winner for the Judy Garland miniseries years ago. Oh. I mean, it's this really, he's, so there's a religious aspect to it, and yet he is, in his bedroom, making money on the camera, and dealing with the same-sex attraction to his coach, and they're struggling financially, and he's struggling with the sexuality. I mean, it's so complex. And, beautifully acted and very moving, and there are moments of lightness. So I'm super excited about that.
And Matthew Morrison's
they're going to be here.
Matthew Morrison from Glee, I see, is in that one.
He plays
pastor?
the pastor who, is very conservative. It's not what you've seen him do. Mm-hmm. And this young man is really, really torn. Mm-hmm. So and we have stuff like that, and then we have stuff like Son of Sarah, Volume 1, which is queer horror. Like, It is the great-great-grandson of Rosemary's Baby. It's jaw-dropping.
Fabulous.
This lesbian couple, they're right at the end, of her pregnancy, and the baby daddy who, shows up. And for reasons, you're like, she goes to have dinner with them out in the middle of nowhere. And it's one of those where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe
it's a crazy ride.
Ooh.
It is crazy and horror and funny and gory. And, if you love queer horror, if you just love horror.
Sign me up.
Okay, that's Saturday night. You got to see that one.
I'll be there.
Okay, Ellen, what have I got for you? Okay,
the Brittany Griner story. What's that one about?
I was going to say that is about Brittany Griner.
Yeah,
and,
truth in advertising.
I mean, that's it. You're done. Her story is so unbelievably compelling. What that poor young woman went through, being arrested and held in Russia for. I mean, I can't even tell you. I mean. And then I'm trying to think, of course we have a million other films. I'm trying to think, what kind of lady films do you like?
Well, I love any kind of lady films because there's just never enough of them out there for me to see, in my opinion. But, Reeling gives us that opportunity, but in the rest of the world of film, they're harder to come by, let's face it.
Well, this is one of the things that I love so much about Reeling is that once a year some of these films you may have seen other places or you can track them down or whatever, because that's kind of what's happened in the world with all the streaming and that kind of thing. But this is the one time where you're going to see these with our peer group. You're going to see them on a big screen and in this really, really super safe space. And this diversity, we have something for everybody. So I'll just say that's my little public.
I love that.
You do.
And one of the best things about Reeling, about the Reeling Film Festival is you often get a lot of the artists involved in the films to come for, I like to call them sassbacks at the end of the film.
Any of those
and then
happening?
you were talking about that one director and the bodybuilder. Are there other folks that are coming in that you're particularly excited about?
I'm very excited about the writer-director of Mermaid, which is our narrative centerpiece. It is about a budding trans boy, and his father is played by Nat Faxon, who you may know from Loot. And the Gay Pirates from HBO. I can't ever think of the name of it. And he's an Oscar-winning writer. He wrote the film The Descendants, Nat Faxon. And then, of course, I'm terrible. I can't remember the woman's name who wrote it and directed it. She's coming in, and that I want to say is also on Saturday. And it is the young who identifies as male. I want to say he's maybe 12, maybe not quite that old. He establishes a relationship with a drag queen, and who becomes this fierce protector who's going through his own stuff. He's grieving over the loss of his partner. And the bond between these two, there are so many films, or there are not so many films. There are films where I'm watching all these separately from Tatum, and, we write our little reviews. We have kind of the spreadsheet kind of thing. And 9 times out of 10, I'm saying, oh, hell yes. There is no question. And sometimes she gets there before I do. Well, okay, because, she gets up early. She's like that. One of those normal people with the time thing. And she has written, oh my gosh, I can't wait to show this. This is a film that we both were like, wow, just kind of knocked our socks off. So I love that. I can just start listing off titles. Mad Fabulous, which is Monday night, which is based on a true story and about a Scottish earl who was openly gay and queer, and believe me, is mad fabulous. And his manservant is played by Rupert Everett, who the festival honored in 2019 with our Lifetime Achievement Award. It's like the gay Downton Abbey.
Yeah, I love it.
Or gay Bridgerton. It's like some of these you just go on and look at the clips, look at the trailer. There's a beautiful lesbian-themed film with Joan Chen, who plays this woman living in Canada with a husband and a child, and realizes at a certain point in her life, I have buried this attraction to women, when she meets somebody at a class, this woman, and begins this affair that, of course, transforms her life. And Joan Chen from probably years ago, Twin Peaks, Last Emperor. It's a beautiful, beautiful performance. We have comedies, we've got dramas, we got horror, we got whatever you want.
That really is one of the best things about Reeling, because you've got diverse features, you've got documentaries, you've got short films. I'm super excited. Our good friend of the show, Whitney Chitwoods, her Sam Wants Her Sweater Back is a part of the shorts program, which has been
that's fab.
Yes, and let me tell you, she's funny. She's very funny. Yes. So,
can I just throw in some real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Speaking of shorts, one of the programs, the theme is Bodies of Desire, which is showing on Thursday. Oh, yes. That is showing the same night. Earlier that night is our documentary centerpiece, which is, I always try to say this correctly, Harapeo, which is about the Mexican town where they have all the rodeos, and it's the queer people that exist within it. It's unbelievably beautiful. Right. But as part of this shorts program, Bodies of Desire, we're showing a film that stars David Pevsner, who the star of Scrooge and Marley, the film that Mr. Duff was in that we made several years ago. And so he's going to be here, which is lovely.
Oh, great.
And the red director. Anyway. So
fabulous.
sorry.
Well, I mean, like again, Reeling Film Festival is one of those things we are so lucky that it's here in Chicago. How can people enjoy the fest? I know that you can get some passes, you can buy individual tickets. How can people take some time up when the festival starts kicking off on September 17th?
Well, everything's on sale now. Go to reelingfilmfest.org and tickets. We're at, as you've said, we're at the Music Box opening night. Then for the following week are at the Landmark Century. And then we end the festival the following weekend at the headquarters of Reeling, which is at Chicago Filmmakers on the North Side.
Which is an incredible building. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank
I love
you.
it.
That's the Chicago Filmmakers is the presenting organization of Reeling. And it's just fun to be in that building, and to see a film in that screening room is pretty fantastic. We are closing with an anniversary screening of The Celluloid Closet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, from those two Oscar-winning directors, and it's inspired by the late Vito Russo's film classic, narrated by Lily Tomlin, and basically goes over the first 100, how queers were represented in film in the first 100 years. Mm-hmm. And then it goes up to about the early 90s with the advent of new queer cinema. I mean, it's really, really eye-opening if you've never seen it.
It's wonderful.
And entertaining and funny, and so many people are in the film as talking heads. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, Tom Hanks, Whoopi Goldberg, Harvey Fierstein, Susan Sarandon, Tony Curtis, on and on.
It is quite a remarkable film, and it was. I remember because it came out in the '90s, like in the mid '90s, and that's like was my era of coming into my own, and it was like a big film. And of course, you can find your own big films among the many big films that are happening at the 44th Reeling, the Chicago LGBTQ+ International Film Festival. It's coming up on September 17th and runs through the 27th. For the full calendar and to get tickets and passes, head to reelingfilmfest.org. Richard Knight Jr., thank you so much for showing up in the middle of the night and for chatting with us.
Welcome. You did that really well. You might think about getting a radio show.
I've been thinking about it. Well, I don't know.
He's getting the hang of it.
I'm finally getting the hang of it.
What do you think?
I'll let you give him a couple pointers, and I think you're good to go.
All right, we're on our way. It's all good. We love having you with us, Richard, as always.
Love you both.
Love you too, Richard. All right, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it is the final thrilling show-stopping moments about Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
I'm Barb Siska.
And I'm Jessie Perret.
And we're with the Chicago History Museum.
Welcome back to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, and Ellen Miller's over there.
Mm-hmm.
Matt's over there, too. Mm-hmm. It's great. We're all just kind of hanging out. Look, I'm so glad that they brought up the Celluloid Closet. It is a really powerful documentary, and it's, I think it's is it required viewing? I think it might be required viewing. I think for two people, thank you for playing into that little history bumper going into this. It really shows you how queer characters were represented within the first 100 years of film. Mm-hmm. And it's like, the hidden ones, the ones that were not so hidden, what happened, most of the time with movies, if there was a gay character, they died. Mm-hmm. They always died. There was something always bad happening to them. And it was and I remember watching it and being just kind of amazed at all this coding that was going on and stuff, like the color purple, very big coding going on there. That's why Whoopi Goldberg is in there. It's a fabulous document to see how queer stories were presented and where we've come even since 1990 when it was a 90 when it came out.
That's a 90, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So just to see in those 36 years, how things have changed and maybe how things have not changed and how things keep going back and forth. It's
we've always been there. Obviously, people in the arts have been more forward thinking about, showing gay characters over the years, but they did it, as you said, coding and, they were there, but how they were represented
it's always
very different.
It's very different, and just even seeing how again there's why we do so many stories with or interviews with artists is we are trying to create with art you are creating some sort of conversation, you are bringing some new ideas or telling different stories that haven't been heard before, and when you tell a story that people can see themselves in, that's called empathy, and that, my friends, is what makes change happen. As opposed to Michael Alfonso, Sean Duffy's son-in-law.
Yeah.
With the craziest eyebrows on the planet. I'm telling you, I'm obsessed with these eyebrows.
I have to check them out.
Yeah, you'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
But, and so, he's got crazy eyebrows. And whatever happened to that reality show that Sean Duffy was supposed to be doing, the Great American Road Trip.
That he spent all of our money
and time. Our money on time doing
running
that.
Around the country with his family.
Yeah, so, I guess, no, I think they weren't able to suck up the gas prices the way that Ding Dong is asking everybody to just deal with it.
Just deal with it,
Just deal with it. You'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Take it from me, a billionaire who's grifted their way into...
Whatever. So it all comes down to it is that we don't need to see the Great American Road Trip. We don't, but we do need to go and check out stuff that's going to be happening at Reeling Film Festival.
Yes, we do.
It's if you haven't been, and if you can go to opening night is always
fun.
So much fun.
Over at the Music Box in Lakeview.
And red carpet. There are celebs that stop by. It feels very, very fancy, and it really does truly feel like a celebration of our community, of telling our stories, of lifting up queer filmmakers, queer artists, actors, directors, tech people, everybody. It really does feel like a huge coming together in a celebration.
And speaking of coming together in a celebration, I want to give a plug. My dear friend, late friend Lynn Bramer. Tonight is the hometown celebration of benefit for the Lynn Bramer Scholarship Fund. It features Doug Julin, Michael McDermott, Heather Lynn Horton, other Chicago musicians that were some of Lynn's favorites. It's reasonable. It's $31 at the door, and it's a way to remember Lynn, whose birthday would have been next week. He would have been 72, I believe, this week, and we want to keep Lynn's spirit alive. So over at Metro tonight, come on down.
Come on down
Say
and
hi.
do it.
Yeah.
And that's going to do it for us today on Out Chicago. I want to thank all of our guests, Dina Nina Martinez Rutherford, Ada Chang, Anna Rose Epstein, and Richard Knight Jr. Pat, thank you so much for running things so beautifully. Paul, thank you so much for doing whatever you do back behind this ball. I can't see you ever again. Ella Miller, thank you.
I'll be off next week on our little road trip.
Yes, safe travels.
I look forward to thank you.
Safe travels, safe travels. Yep. And I'm Scott Duff, and until next week, stay proud.